हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल। आई होप आप सब लोग ठीक होंगे। सो दिस इज़ द सेकेंड पार्ट ऑफ 15th चैप्टर ऑन गवर्नेंस। सो फर्स्ट पार्ट में हमने देखा था अबाउट हॉक आई ऐप, टी सवारी ऐप, माई GHMC ऐप, सिटीजन सेंट्रिक गवर्नेंस, TSB पास, तेलंगाना साइबर सिक्योरिटी पॉलिसी, तेलंगाना डायग्नोस्टिक्स ऐप, GHMC ऐप प्रजावान, टी वॉलेट, धरणी पोर्टल, मी सेवा, टी ऐप फोलियो, ई ताल प्रोजेक्ट एट्सेट्रा। पार्ट 2 में वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट वुमेन सेफ्टी, प्रिजनर वेलफेयर, SDG से कनेक्ट करके हमारा गवर्नेंस विच वॉज अ पार्ट ऑफ योर 2022 सोशो इकोनॉमिक आउटलुक एंड फर्दर मोर, राइट? I hope the theme of three things, that is your LCD, decentralization, citizen-centric governance, and law and order for the people's welfare. So these were the subheadings under which we were talking about the governance aspect. Continuing with the same theme in the law and order aspect, now we have the women's safety, जिसमें सबसे पहला component है आपका she teams. A very important topic that we had also spoken in the first part is about the cyber crime, right? So उसके ऊपर थोड़े expected questions हैं. Your command control area, command control center, which is also known as your third eye. तो ये कुछ important topics हैं. अगर आपने first video नहीं देखा है तो you can watch it by clicking the I button. So talking about she teams today under women's safety, it was launched on the 24th of October 2014. So 2014 में launch किया गया है. And Draupadi Murmu, she recently, when she visited Hyderabad during her southern sojourn in December 2022, she has also praised the she teams component. she teams will come in our other chapters also, जिसमें हम डिटेल में देखेंगे कौन सी कमिटी के थ्रू ये बना था, वो सारी चीज़ें भी. There are a lot of ways you can complain about any kind of misbehavior that you encounter to the she teams. ठीक है, तो नया एक मोड आया है QR कोड मैकेनिज्म फॉर कंप्लेनिंग. सो बार कोड्स आपके मेट्रो स्टेशन पे हर जगह पर लगाए होंगे एंड यू जस्ट हैव टू स्कैन टू मेक अ कंप्लेंट. सिमिलरली देर आर अदर वेज थ्रू व्हाट्सएप यू कैन मेक अ कंप्लेन और डायलिंग 100 और हॉक आई ऐप और थ्रू ईमेल और like various ways through which you can complain. Next, talking about Avatar Group's study that was done in January 2020. It is to make the state capital, that is Hyderabad, safe for women. And Hyderabad ranks 4th in position with an inclusion score of 62.47 among the top 25 women-friendly cities of India. Okay, so it ranks 4th, which is quite a good number. Next, we have Saib Her, which is Safe for Her. It is launched by the Women Safety Wing in July 2020. तो she teams के बाद ही ये सारे हैं. So chronological order can be asked. So that is why I have mentioned this point. And this Saib Her point you can write in cyber crime also. It is to protect the women from your cyber frauds or cyber harassment. I've spoken about this QR code scan. Next is our anti-human trafficking unit. So in 2019, Government of Telangana has ensured that 31 police districts have a AHTU, that is anti-human trafficking unit. And which is the nodal agency for it? It is the Women Safety Wing. It is the nodal agency for your anti-human trafficking unit. Next, we have the campaigning done for the national gender awareness through NGOs. You can dial child helpline or emergency response support system, or you can reach out to women help desks etc. जिसके थ्रू आप जेंडर के बारे में अवेयर हो पाएँ. There have to be equality in gender. And such campaigns are also known as Avagahana Varotsavalu. So they are conducted in selected AHTUs. ठीक है, वहाँ पर. Next we have an important one which is Dhruv portal. It was launched on the 11th of Feb 2021. It is a comprehensive online platform for you to have resources on the topic of human trafficking. So human trafficking, even if it comes as a general essay या कहीं भी सिक्योरिटी की बात हो तो आप ध्रुव पोर्टल को ऐड कर सकते हैं. ध्रुव पोर्टल. Then we have missing persons monitoring cell. It was established in November 2021. It is similar to Operation Smile, which we will see next. The Operation Smile is for children, right? तो ये है missing individuals, anybody who is missing, for them to relocate and return them back to their families. This particular monitoring cell has been established, and the key stakeholders who were involved in the setting up of this particular unit are UNICEF, Women and Child Development Department, and your National Informatics Center. So such institutions can be asked as a statement in your MCQs, so that you have to remember these points. So I was talking about Operation Muskan or Operation Smile. It is to locate missing children. This is for the children. The above one, the cell, was for anybody who is missing. And this Operation Smile was launched in 2015. While we see that this missing persons monitoring cell was established in 2021. Your SHE teams 2014. So I hope you recall the years and months. Then this is another edition. So anywhere you have to talk about the inclusivity, you can add this point about the Pride Place, which is a transgender LGBTQIA persons protection cell. It was launched on 12th of April 2022, quite recent. It is for the protection of transgenders across the states and district level. Next, we have the Bharosa centers that were launched in 2016. It is for the victims of crime, especially the women who are victims of crime. They are, it is like a rehabilitation center for them, protection home for them, right? So how many Bharosa centers do we have by January 2023? It is 15. We have, Telangana has 15 Bharosa centers. So यहाँ पर भी हेरा फेरी करके they can make a statement, and MCQ can be framed out of this. Next, we have the disaster risk governance. Now this is very important. You can add it in your disaster management also, where the departments, the state disaster response and fire service department, they respond to your fires, natural disasters like cyclones and floods, man-made disasters, chemical, biological and nuclear emergencies, your urban flooding, etc. So these are the types of things, and disaster risk governance, this word can be used in your disaster management. Next, talking about the prisoners' welfare. Now there are a lot of good governance initiatives for the prisoners, and the main motto of Telangana is for them, like, prepare the victims or prepare the convicts for the life after their prison life is over. Okay, so once they get back into the mainstream society, they can lead a sufficiently reasonably good life. That is what the aim of rehabilitative prisons is. This is a very minute data where we understand that majority of the jails in Telangana are sub jails, okay, and we have 7 district jails, and this is the chart that you can focus on, pie diagram, जहाँ पर sub jails सबसे ज़्यादा हैं. Then we have the district jails, and then we have the central prisons, then we have the Sika Hyderabad, okay, and then like this. तो top 3 आपको याद हैं, that is enough. Talking about the good governance initiatives, the first one is e-Mulakat. You can do the video conferencing with your family members. All the inmates can have that kind of facility. Next, you have the Unnati program. It is like a 1-month cognitive behavioral skill development. So any kind of skill you can develop. एक psychological counseling session भी होगा उसमें. Just like I told you, the main motto is for you to prepare yourself, prepare the prisoners for the life after the prison life is over. On similar lines, we have been providing education to prisoners. So IGNU and your Ambedkar University, they have established their study centers वहाँ पर, और काफ़ी लोग जो हैं उनके MSc वगैरह वहाँ से कर रहे हैं. So education भी prisoners को provide करने का facility provide किया जा रहा है. Now this is very interesting, and it can be asked that Mahaparivartan is aimed for what? Okay, it could be manual scavengers, it is for the prisoners, it is for the women, it is for the children. Okay, so the answer will be for the prisoners. So what is Mahaparivartan? It is providing interest-free loans to the convicted prisoners. ठीक है, और सिर्फ उन्हीं को जो अच्छा गुड कंडक्ट उनका दिखा रहे हैं, और 3 साल का उनका जो सेंटेंस है वो बाकी है. सो देयर आर कंडीशनल. सो दिस इज अ कंडीशनल इंटरेस्ट-फ्री लोन फॉर प्रिजनर्स who have demonstrated good conduct और जिनका 3 साल का अभी prison life, prison sentence बाकी है. तो उनके लिए महापरिवर्तन is like a loan providing facility. And next we have the training and livelihood opportunities, which is a form of vocational training. जो भी job related skills है आपको upgrade करने का मौका वहाँ पर दिया जा रहा है. Next, in the governance aspect, we have the TSPSC recruitment drive. We all know we are preparing for such exams only. So there are close to 503 Group 1 services, 783 Group 2, 1365 Group 3, 8039 Group 4 and various other posts. Next, talking about the welfare of persons with disabilities. So vulnerable section आपके society section में इसको काफ़ी ज़्यादा use कर सकते हैं. So इंडिविजुअल एस्पेक्ट्स मतलब सिटीजन, सीनियर सिटीजन्स, डिसेबल्ड, ट्रांसजेंडर्स, सबके लिए वेलफेयर डिपार्टमेंट्स ऑर्गेनाइज किए गए हैं. अनदर इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक इज योर इंटीग्रेटेड डिस्ट्रिक्ट ऑफिस कॉम्प्लेक्सेस. सो 2016 में एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को डिसेंट्रलाइज करने के लिए इस तरह के कॉम्प्लेक्सेस को बनाया गया था. एंड द मेन एम ऑफ दीज इंटीग्रेटेड कॉम्प्लेक्सेस इज दैट जितने भी ऑफिसेस हैं डिस्ट्रिक्ट रिलेटेड वो सारे आपको अंडर वन रूफ मिले, so that it is convenient even for the government and for the citizens. So it is a two-way win-win situation if we have integrated district office complexes. So traffic management ho ya a lot of things will get streamlined if we have everything under one roof. So that is the aim. And number could be important, that 29 of them are proposed to be constructed and 17 have already been inaugurated. तो और 12 बाकी हैं. Next अपना secretariat बन रहा है. So we all know that it is soon to be inaugurated. It has been named as Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Telangana Secretariat. Everybody must have seen the blueprint and layout कि किस तरह से बन रहा है. Then under the financial management, leverage using technology for financial management, we have a integrated financial management system which is IFMIS. It is like a unified platform. It will provide you with efficiency for the government to manage their finances in an appropriate manner. Okay, so it is like a digitized form of facility where the government can avail the services and manage their financial activities. Okay, similarly there is direct benefit transfer. We all know about it, DBTs. जितने भी सब्सिडीज़ हैं, जितने आपके FPS से आपको राशन मिलना हो या कोई भी सब्सिडी आपको देनी है जैसे LPG सब्सिडी, so all the other cash benefits are directly transferred to your bank accounts that you might have created out of the प्रधानमंत्री जनधन योजना. So आधार सीडेड जो आपके बैंक अकाउंट्स हैं तो उनमें आपका डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर्स किए जा रहे हैं to avoid middlemen, to avoid any kind of ghost beneficiaries, right? Next, there are several institutions and this is quite important which help you for good governance. So the first one is your Telangana State Development Planning Society, TSDPS. very important. काफ़ी सारे काम करते हैं ये, स्पेशली वेदर मॉनिटरिंग, वेदर फोरकास्टिंग, इन सारे एस्पेक्ट्स में इनका बहुत बड़ा योगदान है. तेलंगाना स्टेट डेवलपमेंट प्लानिंग सोसाइटी. नेक्स्ट इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द वेदर मॉनिटरिंग stations, automatic weather stations हैं 1044 in our state, and it helps in the disaster management and of course the real time data provision for the welfare weather forecasting. Next, another important administrative unit is our Telangana State Remote Sensing Application Center, TRAC. It is like a scientific society under the planning department जिसकी nodal agency है, which acts as the nodal agency for the remote sensing. So anything related to your technology or such things, remote sensing, space, इन सारी चीज़ों के बारे में. So this is the nodal agency for that. Okay, so अगर आपको इस institution के बारे में पता है और कोई ऐसा statement दिया गया है कि जैसे मान लो GPS टेक्नोलॉजी, so what is the nodal agency for GPS technology in Telangana? So it would be TRAC. Very interestingly, this becomes important that TRAC has developed a master plan for the implementation of PM Gati Shakti program in Telangana. So this becomes very important bit in your MCQ. Next, if you have seen the introduction video, I have mentioned about CEGIS, which is your Center for Effective Governance of Indian States. In the introduction video, I have mentioned that this particular institution, along with others, have facilitated the government with the data for the development of this document that we are reading, that is your Telangana Socio-Economic Outlook. And this also helps to improve the delivery of services. So a lot of work that CEGIS also has been doing. Next, talking about the Kakatiya Governance Fellowship. So 17 young professionals have been qualified और like evidence based policy roadmaps बताए जा रहे हैं. So this is like a fellowship scheme for young professionals whose contribution will aid in our governance. Okay. Next, health and nutrition के ऊपर survey conduct करना, that is your key performance indicator survey, KPI survey. It is like a biannual 2 times in a year. Biannual twice, like once in 2 years is biennial, and biannual is once 2 times in 1 year. So it is a biannual 6 monthly multi-sectoral household survey. And the last one is your Center for Good Governance. It has been established with collaboration of World Bank and your DFID, which is your Department for International Development. और ये काम क्या करता है? What are the key applications? Is online beneficiary management for Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, for your DOST जो हमने ऊपर भी देखा था, Degree Online Services Telangana, then your Online Grievance Redressal OGRTS, GHMC के 50 modules से ज़्यादा, and your E-Pass, which is Electronic Payment and Application System for Scholarships. So these are some of the applications that are being like put forth by your CGG, that is your Center for Good Governance. One more point from your 2022 Socio-Economic Outlook that we can add is that we have a prisoners agricultural colony in Cherlapalli. Okay, so you can add that one point. Now talking about a very important topic, it is relating your SDGs, that is Sustainable Development Goals, with your governance activity. So the most important point here, that we have been an achiever in which SDG 7, that is affordable and clean energy, we have been an achiever. So this data is from your 2022 Socio-Economic Outlook. And if you look at the overall rank of Telangana, we are ranking 10th among all the states. And because we have been achiever in this segment, so we have scored 100 over here. Uske second best we have scored for our clean water and sanitation. So SDG 6 and SDG 7 we are at a good position. And this SDG India Index is released by your Niti Aayog. And what will be the nodal agency for monitoring the SDGs in Telangana? It will be your TSDPS. This particular society, your TSDPS, will be the nodal agency also for your SDG. So quickly talking about different schemes across Telangana of SDG wise. So your first SDG, which is no poverty, so you can write Asra pension, Stree Nidhi Bank. Then your economic support schemes for your SC, STs and BCs, Dalit Bandhu, Raitu Bandhu. So all these are schemes and the purchase and assignment of 3-acre agricultural land to SC women. So these are the schemes that can come or relate to your SDG 1. For your SDG 2, which is related to your zero hunger, we can include the ICDS, the Giri Girl Child Protection, Kalyan Lakshmi, Shadi Mubarak, again your Asra pension for widows, Arogya Lakshmi. So all these are your schemes related to SDG 2, that is zero hunger. The third one about the health, good health and well-being, we have Arogya Lakshmi scheme. Then we have the concept of strengthening the Anganwadi. Okay, if you have some schemes in your mind, as and when we see the relevant chapters, we can relate to them more. For example, when we deal with forest and environment, your 12th chapter, you can connect it with the SDGs here about the climate action and the life on land, etc. So these are your environment related aspects. When we talk about women and child, we can talk about the gender equality and the 10th one, which is your reduced inequalities when we talk about vulnerable sections, etc. So this way, your education chapter, unit 10, which you can relate, your 8th and 9th chapter about the health, right? So this way you can connect the sustainable cities, which we will talk about in our 14th chapter, that is your urban development. So this way you can connect with individual chapters also, but overall I'm giving you a brief idea over here so that you have this in mind, that you can relate the schemes with your SDGs, which will be handy in a lot of your exams, especially your answer writing in your group 1. So we were talking about the SDG 3, that is good health. In that you can include your Ayush scheme, then your ambulance service, which is rural emergency health transport system, then the Basti Dawakana, Amma Wadi. All these are the schemes that you can relate. Next, talking about quality education. So KG to PG, we can include then your Manabadi, Manauru Manabadi, that is what you can include. Then your nutritious meal programs, midday meals, all these things you can include. Then in your health aspect, you can include your Balamrutam, right? Next, talking about SDG 5, we can include in gender equality about again the Kalyan Lakshmi scheme, Stree Nidhi Bank, She Teams, SHG bank linkage, then our V Hub, that is for the women. So all these things we can include in our SDG 5. Next, talking about your SDG 6, you can include under clean water and sanitation, you can include Swachh Telangana. Then you can also include Mission Bhagirath. Talking about SDG 7, under affordable and clean energy, where we are an achiever, you can include about the solar power policy that we have, then our EV policy, electronic vehicles, the mobility valley. So these are the points that you can include. SDG 8, that is decent work and economic efficiency, they can have similar schemes that we have dealt in your SDG 2. right? Then your SDG 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure. We can include T Pride, T IDEA, TS iPass, RICH, T Hub, ease of doing business, industrial corridors, IT policy, metro rail transportation. So all these things you can include over here. Next, talking about SDG 10, we recently spoke about the transgenders cell. Okay, that we can include the women prisoner cell, वो use कर सकते हैं. Then free education to BPL families, T Pride you can use. Dalit Bandhu can also be used here to reduce the inequality. Then talking about SDG 11, we can talk about the RRR, the regional ring road that we are constructing to for the sustainability of cities. Then the smart cities mission, Telangana ko Haritaharam, okay, she teams. All these things are to for the urban development. A lot more schemes you will see in our 14th chapter, that is the next video. Next, talking about SDG 12, about the responsible consumption and production. Again, it is related to your environment protection. So we can talk about EV policy, we can talk about micro irrigation schemes, we can talk about organic agriculture that we are moving towards, urban vanam, urban kisan, all these concepts, the solid waste management, etc. Next, talking about SDG 13, which is related to climate action. Again, the same thing, Telangana ka Haritaharan, that you can include. Then the urban forest parks that we are developing, the CSR activities that are leading to transforming the cheruvus, Durgam Cheruvu. All these things are getting rejuvenated. Then you're talking about SDG 14, even if you have here, because Telangana is a landlocked state, so we do not have any indices for life below water, because we will not be able to do justice to this parameter. But still, if we have to include some schemes over here, we can include about the dry ports, the inland fisheries development that we are concerned about. Talking about SDG 15, life on land. Again, we'll talk about the Telangana ko Haritaharam, then the solid and water waste management, Mission Kakatiya that you can include, then the sanctuaries and tiger reserves that we are developing. So all these are related to your environment aspect. And next, talking about peace, justice and strong institutions in your SDG 12, we can talk about Gram Nyayalayas that we do, then the RTI Act, the legal aid to the weaker sections, modernization of police infrastructure that we had seen in our 15th chapter, also the RTI Act, she teams. So all these things are related to your peace, justice, etc. And the final one, it is about the partnership for goals. So the schemes that are integrating more than 2-3 of the goals, that we will include, that is your T Hub, T Idea, T Pride, your industrial health clinics, all these things, TS iPass. So whatever comes in your mind, you can add. So you will gain about all these topics in our upcoming videos. I hope you stay tuned. If you like the video, share to your friends, subscribe, comment down below what else do you want me to help you with in your upcoming exams, and please pour in your suggestions. If you like it, please share it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next with your 14th chapter, which is urban development. Thank you for watching.